Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel to another episode of our youth only Road to Glory, where we take our team, one of our own FC, and see how far up the English pyramid we can take them. We're back up into League One, so we've had 3 promotions. We're 3 leagues above where we started in the National League North. Now we're into our 23rd season and we could do a maximum of 30 on Football Manager Mobile. So we've got 7 seasons left to go. We've still got 2 leagues to climb if we want to make it to the Premier League. I've already done the friendlies for this season. No cup wins as of yet, but this is how League One is setting up for this year. Some big teams in here. Of course, Wolves, former Premier League or current Premier League side, dropped down to League One. So going to be a difficult season coming up from League Two last year. Of course, we won the league quite comfortably. The aim for this year is to stay up in the division. But of course, if we can do better than that, we'll be very happy with that. We've played a lot of games so far, over 1,000 games, 22 years, as you can see. Just seeing how we can look at your promotions and relegations. What bit is it on? Manager history, I think. Is it on that one? I don't think it is that one. Trophy cabinet, there we go. So far we've had 2 league wins. We won National League North in 2025, and 20 years later we won League 2. 6 promotions in that time, 3 relegations, which means we're in League 1, 2 league wins along the way, no cup wins. We did get to a final of the FA Vars, I think it is, the FA Trophy maybe, might be the FA Trophy. So into League 1, now our team is looking very good. The only issue is, of course, coming towards the end of the season, any youth players we come through, by the time they become any good, the series will end, because of course it will end at 30 seasons. So the players we've got now, we really need to keep hold of. Now there's a few players. So Beichmann, the goalkeeper, is wanted. Not too bad, but Kel, loads of big offers for him, loads of big teams coming in for him. And I'll keep obviously rejecting them, which is making the players unhappy. The players are desperate to leave because they are very good players. Kel, as you can see, potential to be world class. And if we can keep hold of these players and keep them happy, we'll be able to climb up the leagues. Kel was the main one. Stones, especially as well, another player. Only valued at 2 million. We'll get some big offers between 10 and 15 million for him from loads of clubs. Desperate to leave as well. Very poor morale now. But again, if we can keep him happy and keep him in the club, we'll have a very good left back. This is the players that we need if we want to push on to even reach the Premier League by the end of the season. We need to keep hold of these players. Hutchinson, another player, valued at 4.3 million. What I've done is, you should probably see Hutchinson on 15,000 a week. I've given everyone we need contracts that have got 1 year left. The only thing I've done is I've removed the relegation clause, because if we do get relegated, which happened before, loads of teams coming in for your players because you've got relegation clause. Even if it isn't for that season, it remains on their contract. So even though I could have given them a contract in League 2, if we then get relegated from League 1 and they've got a relegation clause, teams are coming in for that price. So I've removed all of that. The only issue is we've had to pay higher wages to balance it out. But we have got plenty of finances. That is what they are there for. We're still only spending 54,000 out of our 620,000 budget. Of course, we can increase that because we don't need any transfer budget. We've got 42 million in the transfer budget, which we can, of course, move all over to the wage budget. So we don't need all this money. So I've took the bite of the bullet and given them higher wages. It's almost 50% increase, maybe double our wage budget for this season. But to keep hold of these players, it will be worth it. I've rejected every offer. The only issue is Bot. Of course, Bot is another player. Very good stats. Again, as you can see, very poor morale because he's wanted by a lot of higher rated clubs. But he's a very good player. 4.5 stars already. All green stats, no negatives at all. Only 19 years of age. He could be world class. So if we keep hold of these players, we can really push on up the leagues, which we want for this towards the end of this series. So the youth players we've got coming through, of course, got 7 years left. So the youth players we got now, this season, we'll probably get some game time if there is some good ones in there. We've pretty much got a good strength squad. Let's put this on to the age. As you can see, they're all young. 29 rated age, sorry. We've got 32 Paris. These are all the ages on the right-hand side. But as you can see, still loads of young players. So if we can keep this squad of players that we have got, we've got some players out on the reserves as well, some youth players. But if we can keep hold of these players, I do believe by keeping them happy, we will be able to go up to the Championship and possibly the Premier League by the end of the 30 seasons. But I'm going to go through, as usual, till we get our crop of youth players for this year. Probably the final, maybe a couple years after, of players that we will actually be using, because by the time they get old enough and good enough, as I say, the series will be ending at 30 seasons. But we'll go through and see what we do get from the youth system, and we'll see how the team is getting on in the league, and hopefully we can stay up this season. Okay, so through to the point of the season, we'll get our youth players, 18th September, and 8 games played. We're currently unbeaten, 4 games won and 4 games drawn, no losses, 13 goals scored, 8 goals conceded, 16 points. Well, there is 4 teams on 16 points, but we are in 3rd position. Things are looking good at the start of this season. Starting off unbeaten, only other team is Bristol Rovers to do that. Of course, they are first on goal difference, but things are looking good. Now, let's have a look at our crop of youth players. We've got 11 in total coming through. Hopefully, there's some good ones, and there is a few 5 stars in there. So we've got 5-star goalkeeper Yates, 5-star centre-back Gunter, and 5-star left-back Seymour. Gunter, the centre-back, could be needed, so that is a good one to have. We've got another 4.5-star Pegram, centre midfielder, and another centre-back, 3.5 stars, the Silver. Of course, these ratings will change throughout the season. There might be one of the lower rated ones that just shoot all the way up to 5 stars, and they could be the next big thing. But that's a good intake. 3 5 stars, 4.5, 3.5. Of course, I've got the whole season for those ratings to change. But as usual, let's go through till the 1st of January, where hopefully we're still in one of these green spots. So since we got our crop of youth players, we had a look. We went on a good run of form. We beat Salford 7-0. We went on a good run of form. We then went on a really bad run of form. 6 losses in 7 games. Means we have dropped down the league slightly. As you can see, we won again against Wolves 2-0 at home. We also beat Lincoln in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. I don't think the draw has been done yet for that. But we are also into the Bristol Street Motors the 3rd round. I think it's like the quarter-finals of the Northern section. And in the league, we have dropped down to 12th. We have got a game in hand on most of the teams, a couple on some of the others as well. But 42 points means we are 4 points behind the playoffs. So it's not off the cards yet, but if we keep up our bad run of form, we're just going to keep on dropping down the table. Hopefully, relegation is safe. Of course, that is our main goal. If we could get playoffs, that would be really good. But next game is in the Bristol Street Motors against Crewe. Let's have a quick look at our youth players, our youth intake, and not much of the ratings have changed, to be fair. We've still got the same 3 5-star players. Gunter is injured and Seymour is wanted from another club. I don't know if it says who, but the Silver is up to a 4-star. Pegram still 4.5 stars, so not much changes in there. I think Blakely's slightly improved all the way up to a 2-star. Other than that, not much really happening in our youth system. So I'm going to go through the January transfer window, of course, sort out any loans. We're going to have to keep rejecting offers again, which is going to make these players more unhappy. As you see, a few exclamation marks on these players, which means they're not playing very well either. Although Bot has got very good morale now, but with all these teams coming in for him, as you can see, he's got 4 teams interested already. Bot, what's he worried about? Wants to move to a bigger club. Let's have a look. Has he got teams after him as well? The same 4 teams? Oh, it's the same player. Matenga was the other player. no one after him yet, but he's not happy either. But let's continue on through until towards the end of the season, where hopefully we're safe in League One. Fingers crossed, leave a like. Hopefully, leave a like on the video, some good luck, and hopefully we will end up in that top 7 or top 6 even for the playoffs. But let's continue on. Maybe we go on a little cup run as well. I don't think the 4th round has been decided yet for the FA Cup, so we might get a big team in that fixture. But let's continue on and see how we end up in a few months' time. So we've managed to turn the form around come the end of the season, and we're currently in 6th place. It's come down to the final day of the season though, with just one game left. It's between us and Millwall for that 6th place. We've got 1 point ahead of Millwall, who actually lost against Harrogate in their last game. So a nice favour from Harrogate, because we have drawn our last 2, which isn't ideal. But we're 1 point ahead of Millwall, which means on this final day of the season, if we win, we're guaranteed playoffs. And if we draw, we just need to match Millwall's result. So, of course, we're going to want to win. Let's have a look who we are playing. We're playing Harrogate at home next, actually. So Harrogate did just beat Millwall. So it's going to be a difficult game. They have been relegated. As you can see, 3-1 winners against Millwall. They also beat Cardiff 4-2. So they're on a 2-game winning streak. Hopefully, we could end that on the final day and win that game to guarantee 6th spot, which means we'll get the playoffs in League One. And it's very tight as well between 5th and 2nd, only 2 points deciding. So any of those 4 teams can go up automatically. And of course, and if we do make it in 6th, any of those 4 teams can finish in 3rd for the playoff game, which we'll be playing if we get there, which fingers crossed we will. Let's have a quick update on the youth development. And the silver's gone up to a 5-star. So we've got 4 5-star players. There's a striker that's up to 3 stars now, Norton. I don't know if we'll take him. Probably not, to be fair. Pegram as well, 4 stars. So looking good. We've maintained the 3 5-stars that we started with and added 1 more to it. So a very good intake for this year. But 1 game left to go then. Harrogate away. I'll just quickly show you as well because I thought it was quite interesting. Curl seems to have quite a high temper. Does have 18 aggression, but 37 games. He's got 17 yellow cards and 3 red cards. That's over a card a game. A card every 2 games, sorry. Only 1 goal, 1 assist. Of course, he is a right back, so you can't complain about the goal contributions too much. All these green circles means that teams are interested in buying these players. So pretty much our whole squad is wanted from other teams, which is not ideal. But Harrogate at home, all we need is a win to guarantee. Let's sim it. And we finished 6th. And we actually lost that game as well. Harrogate beat us. So Millwall must have lost their game, because we have guaranteed 6th place. Millwall drew their game. So we both finished on 75 points. So we made it by goal difference. 3 extra goals scored. Only 13 goal difference, which isn't that high, I don't think, to be fair. But we have made it into the playoffs of League One, finishing above Millwall. So we'll be playing at Lincoln in the semi-finals. Of course, playing the home leg first, the away leg second, and then either Wickham and Bristol in the final if we do make it that far. But that is how this season has ended. So let's go and play these playoffs then. The FA Cup, if anyone is interested, we played Leeds, who are in the Premier League. And we played them and lost 2-0. And we also lost in the Bristol Street Motors next round as well. Let's have a quick look at the Premier League. Brighton, I think, are going to do back-to-back Premier Leagues. They're top of the league, 3 points clear. There's still a few games to go in that one, though. No big teams getting relegated. How are Man U, Chelsea getting on? Chelsea playoffs, Tottenham playoffs. Man U not in the playoffs of the Championship. So Mansfield, Preston and Colchester dropping down to League One. But let's quickly play these playoff games. They haven't been added to our schedule yet. Here they are. We're just going to keep going through here, guys. No cuts. So Lincoln We're playing on a Tuesday night at home today, and then on a Friday away. So let's sim the first game and see how the first game goes. We want a win here, ideally. And it's a 1-0 loss. 1-0 loss at home. 11th minute goal. They did get a red card though. And then we've got the away game on the 4th of May, which we definitely have to win now. So let's go through. How did it go? Probably not well. A 4-1 loss. So we've lost in the semi-finals to Lincoln of the playoffs of League One. But a very good season, considering all we wanted to do was avoid relegation this year. We scored in the first minute, by the way, from our left back Garrett, and then 4 first half goals from Lincoln. So 5 goals in that match, all coming in the first 35 minutes. But we've lost in the semi-finals of the playoffs in League One, which is very good considering we only came up from League Two last year. It's our highest finish so far, 6th place in League One. Hopefully next year we can push on and get the playoffs again and keep hold of all the players and keep them happy, of course. But that is the end of this episode. I'm just going to go through until we collect our youth players, and I will be taking Yates, the goalkeeper, Gunter, the centre-back, Seymour, the left-back, De Silva, the centre-back, and Pegram, the midfielder. I think the left I will leave. The 3 stars, I won't take them anymore. So we're just going to take the 5 stars and the 4-star Pegram as well. So that's all I'm going to take from this youth intake. But thank you very much for watching, guys. If you had enjoyed, please leave a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. Leave a comment as well if you are still watching. If you are still watching, you're interested, I've upgraded all my staff and physios up to silvers. They've all up to now, and Gallo's actually up to a gold, our assistant coach. So things are looking good. Let's go on till next year. So I'll see you for another episode tomorrow.